What is up, guys? It is approximately 9:44. I just got back from the gym. I just hit legs. I just drank my protein shake, and I am so hyped to start this series right now about motivation, confidence, and stepping out of depression. You guys have no idea how much this means to me personally. I care so much about fitness, nutrition, living a healthy life. But honestly, this series is probably like at the core of my channel and what I care about most, because I mean, physical activity and eating right and doing things that are gonna make you happier are all things that are gonna help you get out of depression. But these are like legitimate steps and tools that I have learned about and I have read about, and I am so excited to share them with you guys. All right, so let's jump right in. This is gonna cover 3 really important topics that are gonna help you start to step out of depression. So first, before I even start with the 3 topics, you need to self-assess. If you're watching this video right now, you need to take like 3 hours the night or the day of you watching this video to self-assess. Starting with our first topic, which is gonna be excuses and anchors. You need to figure out what your excuses are that are keeping you in depression, figure out what your anchors are that are holding you down, and figure out how you can turn those anchors and those excuses into propellers and things that will help you move forward at a rapid pace and help you get out of depression. You need to figure out what those anchors are and turn them into your why power. The very first thing out of all of the topics, so we talked about anchors, excuses, but the biggest thing is your why. What is your why? You need to write down 5 things on a piece of paper related to what exactly your why is. So this is how serious I am. I have Velcro strips on the back of my paper that has my why on it, and I put it on the inside of my bedroom door, and I look at it every single morning before I step out of my room, and I visualize for 5 minutes in my head all these things being true and me achieving my goals. You have to do that. The better your anchor and excuse are, the more personal they're gonna have to be. So for me, my biggest and one of my most important anchors is dealing with my dad. So my dad has been an alcoholic my whole life. My dad's a great father, but he's dealt with alcoholism my whole life. And I use that as an excuse, like, oh man, I'm doomed. This is gonna happen to me. Like, I'm just gonna like accept that, and that just kind of held me back and held me down, and I had to turn that around. So now, rather than using that as an anchor that's sinking me and taking me down, I'm using it as a propeller, and I'm saying, I am never gonna let that happen to me. I'm gonna be a person who's going to not let addiction consume me. I'm going to be responsible about it. So now the biggest and most important thing on my why list, and it's at the number 1, is be the man you want your future children to look up to. I know I have a responsibility as a male growing up right now that when I have children, because I want to have children in a family, that I'm going to have to be a shining example of what a man is, what a man is supposed to do, and how a man is supposed to carry himself. And I'm starting that right now. And that is one of my main driving forces. Next on my list is be the way you want people to see you. And this is like pretty easy and kind of generic, but like I think it's like super important to like think about how you want people to see you and start projecting that. So like I want to be a positive energy. I don't want to be a negative person. So I am going to start being more kind to people. I'm going to start saying hey more often. You know, if someone looks upset, I'm going to be like, hey, like, or give them a compliment or like say something to help them like boost their spirits. So then next on my list, help others every day. It's why I'm making this video, because like I care so deeply about this stuff, and I really just want to help and like share this information with as many people as I possibly can, because it's that important and it's helped me get out of depression. Also, next on my list is be the man Bianca deserves. Bianca's my girlfriend. I think that in any relationship, you have to constantly try and make yourself the best you possibly can for that person. Obviously, if you're in a good relationship like I am in right now, that's gonna help a lot. Like if you're in a relationship that's healthy and you're like helping each other and motivating each other, it's only gonna help you become your best self. But I just have that because I think that she deserves a strong, confident man that has goals and wants to like help others. So yeah. Next, I have be an example for your little brother and make your mom proud. I have a younger brother who's still in high school, and a lot of the times I feel like I have to be an example for him, and I feel like if I'm doing all these negative things, he's gonna look at that and think it's okay. So I'm totally not okay with that, and I want him to look at me and say, hey, he's doing all these things that are positive, I need to do those as well, or I need to be a positive individual, or I need to get my life on track if my life is not on track. You know, things like that. I don't want him to look at me and see the negative things that I was doing and think that's okay, because it's not. Okay, so to recap so far, we have our anchors and our excuses. Figure out what those are, do a lot of self-reflection, think internally, be serious with yourself, be real with yourself. Think about what you've been using as excuses to hold you down in depression, and then turn them around. Use them as propellers, and write down your why. And I cannot stress this enough. Put it on the inside of your door, because it will help immensely if you visualize these things every single day. Visualize yourself in the future with all these things, like, and the person you will become, like, with all these things being done. All right, so next we have steps to take every day. I pulled this as well as the following step from a book called The Compound Effect. Really great book, helped me immensely. It's definitely a great thing to read. I'm not promoting the book, I'm not sponsored. Literally, I just think it's a great book. So anyways, you need to write about 6 steps. And these are things you're going to do every day. It can be for 5, 10, 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be a long time, but it needs to be things that are going to help you become more positive, things that are going to help you get closer to your why, things that are going to help you get closer to your goals. We'll talk about goals in a different video, but you need to write these things down. You need to be serious about it. So, for example, for me, the very first thing on my list is watch a motivational video every single morning. I cannot stress how important this is. It helps me so much. It will help you get started in the day when all you want to think about is the reasons why you don't want to be getting up and why you don't want to be doing what you're doing. But if you watch a motivational video, it will help, like a 10-minute motivational video every single morning to start your morning when you get out of bed. It's great. Then next, wake up on a schedule. I wake up at about 6 to 6:15 a.m. every morning. I go to the gym at about 7 or 7:15 a.m. every morning. You need to start getting yourself on a schedule. Maybe you already are on a schedule. If so, that's great. For me personally, I wasn't on a schedule for a long time, and this has helped me so much. Get yourself on a wake up schedule and a sleep schedule. All right, next, another big thing for me, I know it kind of depends on the person. Write a to-do list of tasks. Every single night now, I have been writing in my agenda a to-do list of about like 6 things that I know I need to get accomplished the next day. And then that way, whenever I'm trying to figure out what I need to do, I can just look at my agenda and be like, oh yeah, okay, I got to do that. That way you're not just like carrying all these things in your head, because eventually you're going to forget things and then it's going to screw you. Next, I have read for 30 minutes. I've always hated reading personally, so this has been something that I've had to get outside my comfort zone, as well as scheduling things. I've never been that kind of person, but I read 30 minutes now every single day. Read something positive, read something motivational, read something that is going to help you get out of a negative mindset. Compound Effect is a great book to start. Stretch is next on my list, because like the past few months ago, I should say, I was just really sore a lot, get a lot of cramps while I was at the gym, especially my legs. My legs is predominant, but you need to start stretching. Well, I mean, you don't need to, this is just something I do every day, but you should stretch. And I have been trying to do it every day. Dress for success. I cannot stress enough how much this has helped me. If you wake up every day and you go to the gym and then you come back, you shower again, and you put on clothes that you feel really confident and good about yourself in, that's going to help you so much. If you come back and you start your day with sweats and stuff that's just comfortable, you're not helping yourself. If you take the steps to make yourself look good and you look in the mirror and you say, damn, I feel good, that's going to help you so much. You're going to be you're going to be so much more confident. You're going to be so much more motivated. You're going to be so much happier if you start doing that. That helps so much. My friends are here. Hey, Blake. All right, so we just talked about dress for success. Another really important thing that I do every morning is I shower and shave every morning. That really helps as well. I feel like whenever I have facial hair on my face, I just don't like the way I look. So, big thing, avoid social media in the mornings, especially when you're starting your mornings. If you immediately get on social media, especially because there's a lot of negative stuff that goes around in the world and just gets flooded into our social medias. And if we start the day looking at stuff like that, it's really going to put us in a negative mindset right off the bat. You need to wait and do that later in the day, at least after breakfast. That's a good start. Then one of the biggest things that I do in the morning is take 5 minutes to think about what you're thankful for. So even before you you should get up out of bed and just sit on your bed. That's what I do every single morning. I get up, I sit on my bed, and I think about all the things I'm thankful for. So I'll think about my girlfriend, my friends, my family, where I am right now emotionally and physically, and how thankful I am for all these things and where I am as a person right now. I can't stress that enough. If you start the day off thinking about positive things that you're thankful for, it's going to help you stay so motivated throughout the rest of the day, rather than if you start the day off thinking about, I'm so pissed that I have to get up right now, or like I don't want to get out of bed, or you're thinking, you get on social media and you're looking at something bad that just happened that's in the news. Like, that's not going to help you. But if you take 5 minutes at the very start, before you listen to a motivational video, before you do anything else, and just think about what you're thankful for, it's going to help you so much. All right, so next, and honestly probably one of the most important steps out of the 3, is actions to stop. And this can be the hardest step, but I think it's the most important. Next to why. I think why is the most important, but this is very important. So you need to figure out 6 things that you're going to stop. 6 things that are holding you back from achieving your goals and getting you to step out of depression and be more confident and motivated. A big thing for me was I was letting the way I was coping with depression hold me back. So first on my list is drinking. I had to stop drinking. I was drinking alcohol way too much, and it was keeping me in a negative, depressed state. And it wasn't helping me achieve my goals physically, and it wasn't helping me achieve my goals just in general. I don't want to be that person, and it's counterproductive to what my why is. Second thing, glued to my phone. I had to stop that because I would wake up every morning and just throughout the whole day, I would be on my phone, especially all over social media, just not thinking about what I need to do in my life, but looking at everyone else's life. And that doesn't help at all. You need to focus on yourself. One big thing about getting out of depression is you honestly need to be a little like selfish. You need to like focus on yourself, because the more you focus on yourself, the more it's going to help the way you interact with everyone else around you. So it sounds selfish, but you really need to think about yourself. Third is oversleeping. You don't want to oversleep. You want to get on that sleep schedule like I was talking about earlier. I was sleeping a lot, and that was just totally not helping, because the more you sleep, the more you're just lazy and laying around, the more you just don't want to do anything. Then being negative, I was constantly, like I was saying, like I was constantly taking in like negative like music, and like constantly taking in like sad, depressing movies, and listening to like my friends always be negative and talk about negative, depressing things, and that doesn't help at all. You got to cut that out. You really do. You got to cut it out, and you got to start bringing in tons of positive music, tons of positive movies. Surround yourself with tons of positivity. That's the easiest way to start getting yourself out. All right, so next on my actions to stop, I was watching way too much TV, and I'm a filmmaker, so I love movies, and I was watching like 2 movies a day, and now I'm like at a place, I'm like super proud of myself because it's really hard for me. I'm at a place where I'm watching like maybe 2 movies a week. Listening to negativity from others, if someone is like trying to like, it's good to be a good friend and good to like help people that are sad and like listen to them and help them, but if you're listening to way too much of that, it's going to affect you, and you really got to cut it out. You've got to be around positive individuals that help lift you up, not that bring sadness into your life and help drag you down. That's just a fact. Then procrastinating is probably one of my biggest things, but that helps a lot with me getting on schedule and listing out everything that I'm going to do and having stuff in my agenda to look at. And I stay way more on task now because I follow all of these steps. Okay, so to recap, we have figure out where your anchors are, figure out how to turn them into propellers, and figure out what your why power is. Figure out 5 things to include in your why. Write them down on a piece of paper. Put Velcro strips on them and put them on your door on the inside, and look at them every morning and visualize them. Then you need to figure out 6 steps that you were going to start taking every single day. Then you need to figure out 6 things that you were going to start stopping, and start implementing these things every single day. And if you do, I promise you it is going to help you so much to get out of depression. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, that is all I have for today. Go ahead and subscribe and leave a like. I am so excited to keep going on this series. I'm going to have another video coming at you guys next week, and until then, have a great day.